Sire Denathras is a fucking castle. Have you seen that, man?
Yeah.
He is. That's true.
3, 2, 1.
Gonna do it. So, welcome back. This is Server Restart In.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What is this?
I appreciate
It's Server
that.
Restart In. It's
So
a weekly...
restart in what?
That's an incomplete sentence.
3, 2.
Oh my
One.
god. The fuck? You guys suck. This is Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast where three opinionated players like to get together to discuss their current thoughts and opinions about the current state of the game.
I don't think
And
you were thinking
give
players.
People, yeah, assholes. We've said
He
that
said
before.
correct twice.
I don't think you were thinking players.
Anyway, my name's Jim. I'm joined by Kristen
Hi.
and Brian.
Hi.
And we are roughly 5 days out from new content.
Yay.
9.1's coming out.
Awesome.
I mean, it'll be something.
I'm
to do.
excited.
I don't know. I'd like to see where this story is gonna go. I mean,
Well, that's mostly why I'm excited.
Yeah.
you know, I spent the earlier part of this week trying to do a bunch of ICC runs and still haven't got that damn horse.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but
Yeah.
and just I don't know. I don't really know what about 9.1 is really gonna be engaging. I mean, Torghast has changed, and I know they've even changed some of that stuff since I tried it on the PTR. New zone, some new story stuff, new raid that's gonna come out later in like early July. I think the 6th is when it starts.
New legendaries that we have to make all over again because now we have to upgrade them.
No, it's not just that. It's that they're adding in, or those domination slots or whatever they are with the gems are going to be on certain pieces of gear. And if that happens to be a piece of gear that you have that is a legendary, you will probably want to replace that legendary into a different slot. And because of that, there are certain legendaries that only have like 2 options where they show up at, and they so what they're doing is they're adding additional pieces of gear to those legendaries, so that way if you do have to replace them, you have more than just one option. They're gonna add mounts in the Maw. Once you hit a certain storyline, you're gonna get flying at a certain point, like a week or two, like a second weekend, I think is what it is. No more. What is nuts? What the hell's the name of the dude? Terragru. No more Terragru.
Oh, that's right, because he's in the raid.
No more Eye of the Jailer in the Maw. So, and I think there's another area in the Maw that's going to open up. The area that's on like the southeast corner of it that we can't go. Mega Dungeon. Just, I guess the same kind of shit.
you know what sucks about the mega dungeon is it's gonna be one of those things. It's probably really fun a few times. Then it's just gonna get old.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be like you're gonna go in, it's gonna be pretty cool, and just like Mechagon was, it's like then it becomes a chore, and then you don't do it the full thing anymore unless you're either trying to get like the achievement, and then you just start doing M+ keys on half of the dungeon, and it's just like, yay.
Aren't they supposed to split it too? Aren't they gonna do it like they did Mechagon?
Yeah,
And split it.
That's what I was just talking about. The M+ keys, because they'll split it and put it in the dungeon finder as heroic, for the 2 wings, and then they'll make them as keystones and whatnot. I don't know. It's just, I'm gonna play it. It'll be nice to have something in game to like kind of work towards, but it's just, and we've talked about this before, it's just not really anything that really feels like it's gonna be super, engaging and or last very long. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like a couple of weeks worth of content, and
Well,
then
it's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be annoying when we find out for sure that Sylvanas, one, doesn't die, and then two, there's some continuation story there that we have to wait for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying she should die or she shouldn't die, but the fact that like
right,
there are people that want her to die, you know what I mean? And this is not the way it's going to be. You just know it's not the way it's going to be. So
the main part of the story is going to be done in the first couple weeks, and then we're going to have to wait how long for the next expansion? Not expansion, I'm sorry, patch.
7
I mean,
months?
it's gonna feel like it though, not for nothing, but
I mean, like everything else they're putting in is probably just going to be log in, do your renown, log out, maybe do some dungeons, maybe raid once a week. It just feels like, oh, that's what I wanted to fucking talk about.
What?
And I meant to tell you.
hey,
Did you
Man.
watch that video, that animated video, the World of Warcraft one? Okay, we're gonna take a quick break here. Okay, so apparently Brian did watch it. It just took a minute to jog his memory. Yeah,
Even
so
I
it's
watched
the
it.
animated one by, what the heck is the guy's
it
name?
was really good and really sad.
you're
Yeah, I did the wrong thing. I clicked on the wrong channel.
Wah.
What was it? I can't read that. Can you read that word right there?
I don't know what you're
Kobo something. Carbot animations.
Yeah.
And I feel like this animated video really kind of captured
It really did.
just
The entire life cycle of WoW from
vanilla to now.
to Cataclysm. No,
No,
to Cataclysm.
to
The start of
Classic.
Cataclysm.
Well,
To the LFD tool coming out. That's what it captured.
this video
And
goes
then
on,
the classic part of it too, sure.
and then TBC coming out, and it's just like,
But how much of classic has really been? Yeah, because obviously, like not everybody's going to be the same way, obviously. But it's not like our group all, or even a good majority of people jumped on the bandwagon of classic and going and reading experience things as just a group. Like,
right.
regardless of to experience it again, just playing together as a group. So
I think the main thing to take away from this, and I was talking to a guy at work about this, today I think, about how he's was jumping back into BC on his warrior and all that stuff, and he's just like, everybody was asking him if he was gonna boost a character or whatever, and he's like, no. And it's just like this whole concept at the launch of BC Classic of boosting really just
Because its end game is the main game. That's all people
Right.
care about, and it's not about the journey. It's about playing end game. And I wish they
Now,
would put more
I get the
emphasis
boost
on the journey.
I get that the boost is more is meant to be a way so that people can play the main content together. But and that's people that are going to play for a little bit and leave and maybe didn't level like us in classic all the way to max level, and then I get that, but it's just when you have things like that where people are coming in, it's like if you were going to start a blood elf, like, which we did, you start at the beginning.
Yep.
And then, it's just like it's a chore to get back up there, right? And if you are playing with people, most of them, if they've been playing for any length of time, or if they decide that they want to buy a boost, they're going to go straight into Hellfire Peninsula and just start there. So now there's a gap between
Yep.
you guys, And it's like, and this isn't like meant to be, you know, pointing fingers at anybody like that, but it's just like, you know, there's, especially when you have smaller groups of friends or whatever, because then it's just like you don't necessarily have like a pool of people that are leveling
Right.
to kind of make it easier and do dungeons and go through stuff, you know, because the people that are in Outlands want to be doing the Outland content and are trying to level.
Right.
So, you know, they're maybe not going to come back to run you through some dungeons to help kind of boost you a little bit. And, you know, it's just like, I get that concept that, you know, the era of like old WoW from vanilla to Lich King is gone. And nothing you can do is gonna bring back the way it was, regardless of whether it's an exact duplicate or what, because the players aren't exact duplicates of who they were 16 years ago. You're never going to have that exact same feeling or that or be awestruck. Like Brian, you talk about how you go through when you first went through the dark portal and just how amazing it was for you. And I believe you talked about how it was pretty similar the second time you went through, but it's I think what it is it's just echoes of that original thing, you know, and it's just like it's not exactly the same. And sure, you know, maybe for a fleeting moment it feels like it is, but it's
Wears off really quickly.
Yeah, it's like
deja vu, you know, like you've been through it, you know.
Yeah, I see it more like if you've been somewhere and then you go back. Say you've been somewhere once, maybe you go to DC one time in your life, and then you eventually go back again, and maybe to the same areas of DC, and you get that, like, oh man, I remember being here. It's so much has changed, or something like that. That type of feeling. That's what I got. And I won't lie, like there's certain aspects of that even throughout the game, I think kind of kick in and just bring back a few little memories. But I mean, you know,
it seems
even like in BC for me, I'm kind of over it. I kind of just dwindled out. I don't really play much of it anymore.
yeah.
And
I mean,
I just it'll never be.
It's never going to be the same.
Was. Yeah. So like, I don't know. As far as the animation's concerned, like, level the playing field and consider how many other games and game communities suffered because of the popularity of World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? Like, WoW wasn't the only thing going on from its inception throughout, you know, we're talking roughly the first few expansions when people, you know, when it really jumped up in subscribers.
Yeah.
Up to probably Lich King or something like that. And then, so yeah, it probably took a toll on other gaming communities because not everybody's going to go from one thing to the other together. It's just not how life works. So yeah, I mean, consider that. Like, there's somewhere out there, there's probably an Xbox gaming group or something that, you know, broke up over it, or people that played D&D together broke up over it, you know, because of its addictive nature. And again, that goes on to be the same for games like EverQuest and stuff like that in the past. So,
well, it's just,
I mean, that's a great thing about memories.
Yeah,
you can remember them.
and like right now, we've been playing the Ion Classic, because it just came out, and
I was trying to watch you on Twitch.com/
You don't even know my Twitch?
Jimmy Decay.
Jimmy Decay, that's it.
Yeah.
I clicked on it. It said coming, be right back or something like
well,
that.
I was
probably because we were.
I was playing for a while, and then Kristen was like, "Okay, well,
I
I'll
joined
come
your stream
play."
and it said changing in a new bikini.
Well,
Yeah.
he asked me to play.
I said if you wanted
to play, yeah. And so I gave it some thought when I was outside reading. And I came in and I said, if you would like me to play with you, I will play with you. And so we
Lucky him.
started playing. And, we played it together.
That's not what he was talking about.
Oh.
Completely out of context.
We played it together when it first launched. So
we had to install it, and then there's some
stuff,
some hacks you have to do to the CryEngine configuration for it. So
screw all that. What was your feeling about it? Did you get?
I mean, there are so they added in it's almost like a battle pass, or like a season battle pass type thing. Which I mean, whatever. It's it was never there to begin with. The core mechanics of the game are patch 2.7.
Yeah, that was
for class balance and stuff like that. And there's a few things that are in there that weren't in there at launch. Yeah. They've kind of streamlined the experience and all that stuff, but for the most part, the game plays pretty much like it did.
Bugs and all.
Which bugs did we get?
Now I can't remember.
But I mean, I do remember, and it's the same thing going through. It's I remember all these areas. I remember all these rare mobs were that drop special gear. I remember, it's kind of muscle memory, how to do combat and all that stuff. It's and I've gone back every now and then to see what the game is like, and I just completely lost because I don't know where the fuck this in the story I am.
Yeah.
But it's there's these I don't know if they're ferret or weasel type characters called Shugos in there. And they used to have a certain voice and a bunch of lines, which I think they took out a while ago. And then when they redid this, there's some voice lines in there that are from the new game or from the retail version of it or whatever. So I don't know. There was a really funny bug apparently on launch day where there's the main class scout, which can either become a ranger or an assassin. They get a dual wield ability, and apparently people that had made female characters of that class and were dual wielding couldn't attack anything.
That's weird.
It is weird and stuff. So they hotfixed it last night or whatever, and then I guess enough people went and bought gender change tickets or something like that to change to male characters.
Just to play the game.
Yeah. Well, and then one of the community managers or whatever posted on the forums that if people had done that for this, before that it was hot fixed and all that stuff, that people would be reimbursed for the purchase and given a new ticket for the change. So if they wanted to change their character back to what it was, they could.
It's nice. It's nice
Which,
that they did that.
I mean, they saw there was a problem and they fixed it and they compensated people for it, which is good.
I don't like the stuff that they added in there, though. I mean, I understand it's free to play, but I don't like all the free to play stuff that they because that was not the experience that we had in
No,
Classic.
it's not. It's completely not.
It's not
like it was.
And so it feels like almost like you're cheated because you're not getting the same experience that you actually, would have gotten in Classic. And I mean, if they're going to do that, you might as well just add in all the other character classes that they made. And you know what I mean? Where does it stop? It's like a slippery slope, right? Where do you stop adding things in from a Classic experience?
Well, I think they tried this out in Korea because it has been out in Korea for a while.
Yeah.
And it was fine. Mm-hmm. It was successful and all that stuff.
Well,
so
the bugs, I say bugs. So there's candy that you get if you buy a founder's pack and it sells for 100,000 kina, which is the
The
currency in the game.
So you can start off with over 500,000.
Yeah, in Kinna, which not really game breaking because
eventually things are really expensive.
really expensive. So it's not terrible, but it does give you a little bit of an up. You can get your inventory expanded pretty far. You can but people are mad about that because they're like, it's pay to win, blah blah blah, and they knew about it in Korea, and people like revolted in Korea about it. And then reading the forums, they're like, well, I'm not playing it now because, I would have played it, but I'm not playing it now. And it's like, oh, dang,
I don't know.
I mean, they probably wouldn't have played it with any amount of seriousness anyway, honestly. But, still, people like to complain.
I don't know. The story is pretty much like I remember it, and that's, I think, what I'm really going for is just kind of going out and doing that stuff, doing the stuff that I used to do in the game, regardless of whatever the fucking, like, their Deva pass is and all that stuff. It's like, I get why they did the character changes or the class changes up to 2.7, because I think a couple classes could basically stun lock you like to oblivion and just destroy you in like PvP and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they at that point in time in like the 2.7 stuff, they had added in like stun removal things that you could use and stuff like that, so you could break out of that and maybe have a fighting chance.
Right.
But regardless, it's like playing Classic again. There's like WoW Classic, right? It's like there are parts of it that are good, right? It's like, I guess WoW Classic was pretty much way more pure, right? It's when they got up to BC Classic, added in the deluxe edition thing you could buy where you got a mount, and added in the boosts where the WoW Classic experience has like taken a sharp left.
Right.
Because it really does change the dynamic of what the Classic experience was. In BC, you didn't have anything like that. You couldn't go
when you say anything, it's just the boost. Like,
yeah.
Right, but again,
and chances are, like, if you're starting from scratch, and you boost something, like, is it that big of a pivot? You know what I mean? In terms of nostalgia for somebody, or even experience wise, because I mean, these games aren't going to last as long as they did in the, Classic didn't last. What, it lasted 2.5 years. Well, 2 years and some months, right? Classic didn't last. Sure. It came out in like November of
2004. Yeah.
And then and then BC came out in January of 2007. So, Classic was just what, 2 months? We're 2 months short. No, almost 3 months short. Oh no, math. 1, 2, 3. Yes, almost 3 months short of 2 years for Classic to have been out. So, I mean, I think it's not as bad as it may seem.
I do get it. I get that, you're going to have people that, didn't want to play Classic, and now they want to play BC because that was their expansion. It's like, well, okay, that's really where I want to play, so I'm going to play there, right? I'm going to do that because that's my good memory of it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's still opportunity though. Like when you say that, like maybe there's an opportunity still for them to make like a straight no boost server,
right,
path or something like
that.
Like
a hardcore.
Yeah, but that point is irrelevant because you'd have to have like it doesn't matter because this stuff has already happened and this is where it is, and by the time anything like that would come to play,
oh yeah, but they're gonna recycle, they're gonna go through the cycle again, they're gonna make WoW Classic again. Once they realize that there's replayability throughout the whole history of the WoW timeline in terms or with respect to releasing expansions, they're going to milk it and guarantee they're going to start new servers. They're going to go down a path again for people to have that chance to experience it. So
I hope so. You know,
I mean, they'd be stupid not to. Like,
Right.
I mean,
they really would.
but we've talked about this before. EverQuest has had a model like this for how long? Probably around at least when I met you, and that's been like 6-7 years.
I know for sure there was like new ones going up around 2014 or so, and I don't know if that was the first time it came out or that was like.
But I mean, you talk about, you know, well, they're going to have to realize this is like, why didn't they see this as a viable option 7 years ago? Why is it? I mean, maybe they didn't have the money or the technology to do it or the desire to do it. But I mean, but this.
Oh, I think it's more of just the fact that like WoW has been in a lull since Legion for sure, right? So even if there was an opportunity, it just was. You know what I mean? You're talking about $1 million a month or whatever it is, you know, direction versus a fraction of that direction. I mean, yeah, they're going to put everybody on this huge money-making path, which was producing content for the main game. But I think eventually, like, once you start, you know, when you see the lulls of the game, and then, like, I'm sure there's some data there to back up showing how many people are going into those private server communities to get that experience.
Yeah.
And that, you know, obviously is creating them, there's a gap there, you know, in their monetary model, to be making money. So now was the time because more than likely they had the opportunity to do so. So yeah, I don't know. And hopefully it'll be easier going forward. I guess my point is, like, I think at first I would have been irritated with it. But honestly, if it gets people in, gets them a chance to experience it, and they make a little bit of money on that, good on them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see what kind of state Blizzard is in. Apparently, they lost a lead art director today.
Oh, really?
The guy that designed Talia Fordragon for BFA quit today.
Oh, yeah.
Or the news came out like today. You know, he came up with her entire concept and all that stuff, and I don't know. He said he had some sort of undisclosed opportunity or whatever, so who knows where he's going.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's going over to
No, he's going to start his own company.
I mean, that's the trend.
That's their going pattern. Everybody's going to start their own company.
Or he's going to one somebody else already started.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was reading a lot about the people from EverQuest, right? So the people that kind of create EverQuest, or the I guess the concept was originally done by like Brad McQuaid or something like that, and then Sony, John Smedley picked it up from Sony, or he was from Sony. He picked those guys up and who they're working for, brought them in like in '96, and that's where kind of EverQuest started rolling from. And after like the second or third expansion of EverQuest, McQuaid and a bunch of people left and created Sigil, which they wind up then like 5 years later creating Vanguard, Saga of Heroes.
Yeah. I was so excited for that, and I don't think I even played it.
Yeah, I bought it and played it, and then I was excited for it, and then didn't really care for it. So
yeah,
apparently it had a pretty good following and stuff like that, but like the stories are all the same. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that WoW has had its heyday already, and I'm pretty sure that heyday was like Lich King.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Legion didn't even scratch near where it was, even though it was a really good expansion.
It was such a good expansion.
But, you know, honestly, like, it's got a floor. It's never gonna. I don't think it's gonna die unless they kill it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
I feel like they're killing it, though. I feel like they're killing it.
Maybe they are, but at the very least, we still have plenty of story in the universe to explore, and they're not necessarily. They spend a lot of money dedicated to the lore, right?
Yeah.
They do invest in treating the lore such as like. I don't want to say George Lucas.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? As like something of that nature, right? Where they're so I mean, they have a timeline and they are the timekeepers.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're bringing Loki into this shit?
Oh my God. Oh,
The sacred timeline.
Uh-oh.
That's a great show. I
We're,
love it.
we're an
Love it,
episode.
love it,
We
love
haven't
it.
seen the last episode.
Oh, yeah,
The
we're-
latest one, so
We could probably watch that if you wanted tonight.
maybe.
You should do it. Please do. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
So thanks
Oh.
for listening. No, no, but
We're gonna go watch
I
Loki.
think you're right though. I think when you say Lich King was probably like their best expansion, I think is in terms of getting into like just like real like grit in the story. Like it was epic. And you had a lot of really good story points, and it really fleshed the world out. And then after that, it like you didn't have it. Legion was, I think, a really good one because it did a lot of similar things that Lich King did.
They did so many new things in Legion, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, and it wasn't like new gross. It was new
Yeah.
and like awesome stuff, right?
Mage Tower.
So yeah, I was
there's
gonna,
just a lot of things. The problem is that they copied it over and over and over. Well, yeah, over and over. Yes. So 2 expansions now. We've had the same shit. And there's just not. I don't know. I don't want to go into like what's wrong. I mean, 1 out of 10, I'd probably rate Shadowlands as like a 6. It's not terrible. It's just boring now. So
yeah, their
know.
problem is
Yeah.
the problem with Shadowlands. I think is their pacing. I don't think any of the systems really ended up being something to the point where everybody was bitching about the conduit system, about how it was just going to be this horrible fucking thing. And it ended up. I haven't seen it.
We don't do the stuff that where it really makes a difference. We raid one night a week, and we can do Mythic Plus or PvP anytime in there, and none of us flips around our talents all that much.
But
Certainly not like I did previously.
I haven't heard a lot of complaints about it. Like it was all up until it started, and they made like their final changes for how the system was going to work and how the charges were
talking
going to
about
work.
conduits? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like all the
Well, I
fervor.
won't lie. I didn't start caring about it until we got really towards the end of normal, whatever that raid's called.
Denathrius?
What's the raid called?
Castle Denathrius.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Nathria.
Nathria.
Castle Nathria. Nathrius.
Castle Denathria. That's what I said. God. No, Sire Denathrius is a fucking castle. Have you seen that man?
He is, that's true.
I'd like to circle his moat.
Oh,
Jesus.
what?
I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, I think I've seen
Man.
shit floating around. I think this patch is gonna like really explore like the Dread lore.
Yeah.
Or Dread Lord lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
'Cause,
come out of everywhere.
I mean, because I heard a bunch of stuff.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear specifics.
I'm not gonna.
But like just the fact that like teaser.
Sylvanas is a dreadlord.
God
Sorry.
damn it.
Ha! She's been replaced.
But like that's interesting because it would be really neat to see how that kind of ties together and maybe get some historical context for all the Dreadlords and going all the way back to like Veramathras and all that stuff.
My problem is, did we have a hint of it though? like I know there was books and readings and stuff like that in the world that hinted a little bit
Oh yeah,
as the unseen ones or unseen. I don't know, whatever it was.
yeah. I think it was
But-
unseen. Like, yeah, sure. We know that they were
We're
there.
just gonna have a bunch of Nathrazim pop out, and then like,
I feel like they're
by the
gonna
way,
be. I
you
feel-
can't see us anywhere we go, no matter which realm or layer of reality.
I
that
don't
we're
think
in.
I don't think that they were called the unseen because they were invisible. I think they were called the unseen because they did their machinations in the shadows.
Yeah.
Like a shadow council type thing where like they were pulling strings from behind the curtain,
Well,
you know, and manipulating things in such a way that you didn't know that it was them causing it. I don't think it was like a literal, like you can't see them, you know, because, well, just the Benedictus guy from the Scarlet Crusade that turned
Bene
out to
who?
be the guy. So in
yeah, the guy who kills himself.
ICC, not him, he wasn't the one. It was the one in ICC who revealed himself, or the guy that was in the chapel in New Hearthglen in Wormrest, or
Yeah.
what, you know, like
He jumped off the cliff thingy.
Yeah, he jumped off.
anyway, he was a dreadlord, right? But you didn't know he was a dreadlord till you fought him up on the
Yeah.
island north of ICC. Was it ICC, that zone? Up by where the
So tell me how they are not like.
You're just-
Okay, sure. So they're pulling strings, but they're turning into other people. Like, how is that not like? It's no different
when you were saying it, you made it sound like they were just
Skulking
not
around,
not
like,
visible, just kind of sitting there making faces at us while being invisible, as opposed to perpetrating
stealthy. Like,
being other
I
people.
mean, I won't lie. I really think that they probably do have some stupid ass access to everything, and like, they're fucking everywhere. They're everywhere, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it's not like a virus, and we're carrying them all over the place. Like,
No,
they exist all over the
but-
place. Like,
so-
what the hell's going on?
That's because they infiltrated the Legion and had access to the Keystones to travel across the universe. They were part of the Burning Legion.
Only to infiltrate it, though.
Sure, but
But then again, they
but-
only infiltrate everything for some unknown reason.
right, probably because they were working with Denathrius to do something to help free the jailer, right? That who knows how long he's been in there, right? In the maw. It could have been
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 3.5 weeks.
3 weeks.
I mean, it's been at least 7 months.
At
feels
least
like
7 months.
feels like 7 years.
But you know what I mean? It's just like he could have sent them out to just find stuff to help or whatever. But like by being in the Burning Legion, they had that teleportation ability to be able to go everywhere, right? You know what I mean? And it's just,
Has it really been 7 months?
yeah.
Holy
Or
shit.
just about 7 months, right, Brian? Since launch?
It's been 7 months exactly, I think.
Holy
23rd?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
well,
it's not,
it's been 7 months
yeah.
of
It was
me
such a
not
fun
playing.
day. I remember it like
Yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I remember
Thanksgiving,
how excited I was. I do.
eating food, playing WoW.
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
And that's the problem, right? Is like, wow, like they come out with all this new stuff, and it's like, man, that's gonna be fun. And you go and you have fun, and then the fun just goes away.
Yeah.
it
And
was fun.
And that's the problem, is that everything is focused on end game,
Yeah.
and we've talked about this.
Yep.
I don't know how many
Exhaustively. Sorry.
times playing with like goddamn paper.
Oh my god.
Quit making noises.
Sorry.
I'm trying. I am trying to wax poetic,
Okay.
and I can't.
Okay. Poeticize
sorry.
us.
I lost it. I've lost it. No, but I mean, it's just like every time you come in, it's just like, all right, get max level, and like you're max level in like 2 days.
Yep.
And it's like, why is it?
Yeah, they should just make a boost for that.
Right?
It's like, you know, sure, I get that. it shouldn't be like leveling from just using the old numbers 1 to 60, right? That took a while. But 60 to 70 should at least take a tenth of what that was, because it's 10 levels. It shouldn't be 2 days, because, we were max level within 2 or 3 days of whatever. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know.
You're talking about Shadowlands?
Yeah.
I think it took us a little longer. I think it took us a little longer because we weren't going very hard.
I'll say I think I was trying to go fairly hard.
Yeah, we weren't going very hard. I think it took us 4 days, maybe.
I want to say it's
Maybe 5.
Still less than,
Yeah.
okay, less than a week.
Yeah,
You know,
I know. And then
but-
the rest of the time you're spent building up your character to get,
It's like
be
they-
able to do heroics.
They
to be
put
able to
all
do
these
mythics,
end game
to-
systems in there, and it's just like,
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like they should really
And then
honestly, I think they should spread out those end game systems down to,
I think they should. I think they should do put different things in for different difficulties, right? So maybe you do normal, and they kind of did that, right? They did it with a mount in Plaguefall. If you do heroic and you do it by yourself, you get a mount. Do that for all kinds of stuff. Make it more enjoyable for you to go back and work towards stuff, or you know what I mean. I know this is more work on their part, but it feels like WoW is in maintenance mode right now. It really does. Put armor sets, not just recolors of armor sets. Armor sets.
Amen.
Amen
to that.
Make fishing great again.
oh my god,
make-
man.
No, it's
Make-
true.
let
Fishing
me-
could have been great, and
Yes.
they did not do a good job of it.
Tier sets for when you fish. You get 2. You have 2 of the tier set that you fish up. It's like maybe it's seaweed covered. Maybe it's got fish coming up. Whatever.
Muck filled
There's-
boots.
Passion.
Yes.
Look at the
There's
passion
so
going on
much
here.
stuff that you could do with that. So, okay, you get 2 pieces. Maybe your casting takes a little less time. You get 3 pieces. Maybe you get an additional fish. You know what I mean? There's stuff you can do, and they don't do it, and it's so frustrating. And I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most is there's so many missed opportunities for things that they could do, which I know nobody cares about fishing but me. I like fishing. I loved the artifact fishing pole. I still use that goddamn thing because it gave you water walking. Hello?
I play a Death Knight.
You don't need it, but I play a druid, and I
Yeah,
don't really
but what
need
if you
it
could
either,
fish
but-
up more floppy fish to swing around?
You only get those from the goddamn islands.
And
But what if you
another thing,
could?
Do you remember?
put toys in there
do
that
you
you can
remember-
get from fishing.
Do you remember
Mounts, like the
back in
turtle.
Classic, the 22-pound catfish and all that stuff? Why aren't those
Yeah.
still around? And why aren't those fucking transmogs and have a 2-handed fish to hit people
All
with?
the
Okay,
achievements.
so one, they're still around.
Yeah.
But they're not transmogable.
Probably not, no.
All the achievements that you had to do for fishing to get the salty title, which,
You had to win a
Going-
fishing
you
tournament.
did have to win the fishing tournament, but that was fine. That was much less harder than I thought it was going to be. You had to go to Ironforge and fish up a fish in Ironforge. Come on. Where's this stuff? Where's the things where you have to go over to enemy territory or whatever and don't get caught? There's all kinds of things that you could do to make it, okay, this isn't end game, but it's stuff that keeps you going back and doing things in the game, game world.
They've replaced that with the achievement system, and
I like the achievement system.
the achievements that they have in there are not that good.
No, I know. They're terrible. They're not engaging at all, and they're not...
It's just go do a bunch of things.
Yeah, which, okay.
Which, I mean, I guess they always all are, but the problem is that it's the whole way an expansion works now is get to max level,
I know.
and work on end game content.
I know, it's stupid.
And
it's
just
not
like,
an MMO. It's just raid simulator.
They made getting to end game or to max level too quick.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I mean, I don't care about that. That's fine because there are people who don't even like to level. So, you know what? That's whatever. That's fine. But make it so once I'm at endgame, I don't have to go raid or do Mythic Plus. Ugh, I hate Mythic Plus so much. To feel fulfilled in my gameplay experience. You know what I mean? I want to log into WoW again. Blizzard, please. I've played this game for...
Just as a side note, she totally can. She's not like banned or anything.
No, I want to log in. I want to have a reason to log in. I want to log in.
I'm just teasing.
Same.
I want to log in. I want to log in.
Right now is the time that I would like turn my WoW off and not log back in for like 9 months.
Yeah.
Like usually that's what I would have done already. But honestly, like,
give me cosmetic shit. Honestly, I love my glowy kitty. I love it so much. Give me a reason to level 6 bazillion alts. Maybe you get
Maybe have 24 death knights.
Maybe have 24 druids if they ever made it possible. You know what I mean? Give me a reason to want to do this stuff. Because right now, I have more of a reason to want to log into Genshin Impact. Which is ridiculous.
Zelda ripoff.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I play that a lot.
It's also new.
Sure, it's new, but they have daily things that you can do, and doing those daily things pushes you closer to sure, that's like WoW, doing the daily things, but you get actual rewards, not fodder for gold. That doesn't feel like it means anything.
The point is there though, like once you get past even so what it probably took like to early January when we were kind of done with the campaign and stuff, like at that point when you're just doing that and raiding or dungeoning to get ready for raiding, like there's just no persistence aspect to the game. Like where can you go and hang out? Oribos? Okay, you can't even explore like the lower half of Oribos. Like, it's there, but you can't really go there. The outside looks interesting, but you can't fly to the top and look around. You can't do any of that shit. Like,
implement what Final Fantasy did for dungeons and make an explorer mode. So once you've cleared the dungeon, you can go in and explorer mode and take pictures or do, you know what I mean? So maybe...
Hey, they gave you a fucking selfie cam, okay?
Maybe if you want to RP and a bunch of you want to go into like Strat or Skolaman.
Do you remember?
And do some RP there. I mean, you can go in there and do that when you're a max level anyway, but...
Do you remember in Guild Wars 2... doing like the jumping shit to get into one of the districts in it wasn't Lion's Arch, it was the human city.
Son of a gun. Really?
I don't
Why
remember.
is that going to drive me nuts? Hold on.
But it was like there was like a home district for the human character.
Salma, I think it was.
And you could go in there and it was instance, but then there was a way people would like jump up on roofs and like kind of sneak into the uninstanced version of it. So they could go in and do like RP and have more people in there because I think a home instance could only have like 5 players in it. So people
Divinity's Reach.
Yeah, and so people would find a way to like wall jump and get in there, and so you could have more people in there.
And you could have multiple people in there,
or like not just multiple, but like way more than like the regular limit and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. You know, it's like people find ways to do stuff.
People are creative. Let them be creative. You know, I don't know. I am a little bit, I guess, biased because I happen to really like RP in the world. I am on an RP server in Final Fantasy.
I'm on the same server. Why do you say it like that?
And I love it very much because the world feels amazing. Like people are, you go into the city and people are there and they're RPing and they're doing, and the world feels alive. It really does.
I won't lie. When I was running around and seeing people doing stuff, and they have world quests.
Yeah.
Or actual group world quests, like
The Fates.
Oh, the Fates.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Warhammer did back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. I
that's
love
cool.
doing Fates. Fates
I
are.
fucking hate Fates.
Oh my god! I can't believe that you were
Why?
playing, and I didn't know that you were playing. We totally could have. Wait, I don't know what server you're on. What server are you on?
That Belmont. I think it's the same one.
Are you on Balmong? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, so after I finally got the account stuff fixed. I was laying in bed playing for I don't know about 2 hours the other night.
Oh
but-
my god! Yell at me when you're playing, and I will come play. Like
No, she needs to go to bed.
I don't need to go.
Yeah,
to
that's
bed.
what I'm still so lost, but it was
I
fun.
can help
It's the activity.
you. I can help you. I have so much knowledge. I would love to share it. You have no idea. I am
All
so
right.
excited.
All right.
I'm so excited when people
All right.
come to play
before
games.
this changes over to be a
Final
Final Fantasy
Fantasy
podcast,
Oh,
we're gonna go ahead and just
wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Thank you everybody for listening. We somehow
To us vent.
have managed to just go off the rails on
We
all kinds of
always
shit.
do that.
Yeah, we don't have any rails. You can just suck it.
Aw.
Wow.
There's no rails here.
Okay.
This
This isn't a theme park. We're
Yeah.
just going off all over the place. Sand
I guess
park.
we just kind of talked about
Sandbox.
just
Sand park. Sorry.
I don't even know what we talked about. We talked about all kinds of shit about WoW, about classic, about
Classic Final Fantasy.
Ion.
How 9.1 has nothing in it except kind of a fun looking dungeon.
Selfie cam part 2.
I mean, yeah, we talked a lot about stuff about we didn't initially we were going to talk about, or I thought maybe we would talk about what we were looking forward to for 9.1, and apparently that is absolutely nothing. 9.1 is
anything.
coming out in in 5
You know
days.
what? You know what I'm looking forward to in
No.
9.1?
I don't know if I want to
Logging into Final Fantasy.
All right. Well,
Oh,
thanks for
so
listening.
depressing.
You can check us out at our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/server-restartin. Shoot us a tweet at server_restart. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.